The moment a mother finally sees her daughter for the first time after 8 years in an Israeli prison. The relief, the anguish, the utter joy. Melek Salman was part of the first wave of hostage prisoner exchange between Israel and Hamas.
صعب جدا 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 لأنه كنت بدي أترك خواتي اللي معي بالسجن لأنه كنت عارفة إني أنا مروحة وفي بدم ترويحتي في دم 14,000 شيء.
Melek, then 16, was charged with an attempted stabbing of Israelis. Israeli authorities say no one was injured, and yet she was convicted of attempted murder and sentenced to 10 years. When her family appealed, it came down to 9. Melek served almost 8 of those years, spending the remainder of her teenage years behind bars. Her family maintains her innocence. Fatina, Melek's mother, had dreamed of this day for years, to embrace her daughter, to share that joy with her community. She says this was denied.
فطبعا هم كانوا عندنا من الساعة 2 الظهر تمركزوا عندي باب البيت، شالوا أي شيء، شالوا الزينة، شالوا الشادر، شالوا الكراسي، إنه ممنوع أي.
To be released doesn't mean you are fully free. Israeli National Security Minister Itamar Ben-Gvir, who was himself found guilty in 2007 before he was a minister of incitement to racism against Arabs and supporting a terror organization. Ben-Gvir instructed Israeli forces to use an iron fist, preventing Palestinians from celebrating the release of their loved ones, saying the prisoners were terrorists.
Expressions of joy are support for terrorism. Celebrations of victory give strength to those same human scum, those Nazis. The policy here is very, very, very clear. Not to allow these expressions of joy and resolutely strive to make contact and stop any support for these Nazis.
Another night, another scene of Israeli forces removing well-wishers and journalists at the home of a released Palestinian prisoner, taking a heavy-handed approach as ordered by their national security minister. In Bethlehem, in the occupied West Bank, they were able to defy Ben-Gvir, celebrating the release of Fatma Shaheen and others from the city. Fatma left her home walking and returned almost 7 months later with life-changing injuries. Shot by Israeli soldiers and accused of attempted murder.
اتهموني بعملية طعن وهو ما في منه. يعني اتهموني بعملية طعن وتم إطلاق النار علي. وتم إصابتي بالعمود الفقري رصاصتين في أسفل العمود الفقري. فتضررت عندي الفقرات وشالوا لي إياها وحطوا لي محلها بلاتين.
For months, Fatma's family say they were denied access, even as her detention stretched on.
كان ممنوع إنه حد يزورني من الأهل من المحاميين، ممنوع أجري اتصال.
Israel says Fatma attempted murder, and yet she was only detained, not charged. She didn't go to trial. She wasn't given any opportunity to defend herself. And this is a story we keep hearing again and again from released prisoners, that they aren't given due process, and yet this crime exists alongside their names.
The Israeli Prison Service responded to these allegations, saying national security prisoners who were released from the Israeli prison during the past 2 days were serving time for serious crimes, such as attempted murder, assault, and throwing explosives. All prisoners in IPS custody are held according to the law. That's not true. CNN broke down the numbers in a list of 300 Palestinian prisoners identified by Israel as eligible for release. 80% are listed as just detained, which means they have not been formally sentenced. Israel operates 2 systems of law in the occupied territories: Palestinians under the military, Israelis under civil law, creating a low bar for the arrest of increasing numbers of Palestinians. And as Israeli hardliners like Ben-Gvir and others in this far-right government seek to characterize every Palestinian as a terrorist, that number is rising every day.